Alright, and we're back. So you've got some information about this chasm, and we had a discussion during the break for like what we wanted to do. So what's our feeling, team?
I'm good with whatever.
I would like to thoroughly explore this area, and I think I want to leave going down the chasm for a group further, another party, not today's party. I just feel like it might be a bit. I feel like maybe we could get I feel like we could come back better equipped, and we'd be able to take. We'll probably be able to take more of the coins or whatever it was that was spilling out. I think that if we come back prepared, we'll be able to salvage this place better. If that makes sense.
Sounds good to me.
Others?
Etienne wants a backpack overflowing with gold and silver to the point where she's willing to leave like her clothes and throwing knives behind to fit more gold that she can carry. This one's got bite marks in it anyway.
Alright, so yeah. Do we want... Look, you muted.
Yeah, in that case, I think since Aaron, like Etienne is a little doubtful, Etienne kind of wants to go down the chasm and get some gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like Calic like notices this, right? Like whether it's like because you look a little fidgety, or because your eyes keep going down to the chasm, or just because Calic is aware that you're like a small raccoon-like creature who loves the treasure, even though you're 6'2".
I'm a very tall raccoon-like creature. Thank you.
I think Calic like comes over and like. I mean, you guys are like all the height, which is unusual for her. She's not used to this, and like reaches out and again like hesitates halfway through the motion to like get and is like, "Can I tug like to get consent for like? Can I initiate contact?" And yeah, like puts her hands on your shoulders and is like, "Etienne, I know gold holds an appeal to you.
Stuff. It's good. It's stuff. We need stuff."
And she like. We see like the thought form and then be resolved and then die unvoiced of like we could have a conversation about materialism and the attachment to material things and the nature of the game, but we're not going to do that. And so we see just in a moment like that happen. I know that the gold is important to you and that you value it. I don't deny it could be very helpful to the village. But right now, going down there is very dangerous. There's a lot we don't know. There's a lot we could find out, and we're not well equipped to do it. I promise there is nothing to stop you from being on the expedition who follow after us and use this map to find the gold. But right now, we need to map this and make it safer for everyone else. And who knows what kind of other weird thing we'll find on the way.
But we came all the way here, and I got shot by coins, and then I got bitten by an alligator in the middle of the night, and I don't even get any of the money that was coming out of this thing like a fountain, and I saw it, and it's right there, and I could just, if it's just right there. Look, if you guys want to wait here, I can go get some, and I'll be right back, and I promise I'm coming back. I
sighs and like squeezes your shoulder, and is like, tell you what. Why don't we, the two of us, look, we can look through my cloak and find all the bits that hit me, and you can have them, okay?
That's pity coins. Those don't spend right.
Oh, you want a shiny thing. Etienne, do you want a shiny thing?
But I don't want to take your shiny thing. There's a floor full of shiny things. So I'm saying those are ours. We made that happen, I think. And so they're ours.
And you can see Bao being like, "Oh, is that how it works? Oh, that's good to know."
I take things. It's kind of what I do, but like I'm not used to people giving things. So
also, it's better if you find it yourself.
Well,
feels better.
Not used to the whole friends thing, so I'm not sure if this is how it normally goes. Usually, I'm just stealing things so that I don't starve to death. So Yeah.
Okay. Calic squeezes your shoulder again and lets out like a long, slow, pained sigh. And we see like, for a moment, she's like, not distressed, but like struggling with something, and then she sighs, she lets it all out, and like peace falls over her, and she's like, if you want to take something valuable away from this, here. And she holds out the lantern.
But she takes a minute and she says, okay, look, life hasn't particularly been easy. The only things I have to my name are this sword that I stole from someone, my backpack full of food, and these clothes on my back. And she looks down and she sees like the bite marks, so she just kind of rips her shirt off and throws it into the chasm. She goes, so all I have in this world are this sword and my backpack full of rations and you all, I guess. So
and she like pushes the lantern handle into your hand and like closes your hand around it.
No, it's yours. You almost died for this. I'm not taking it. This is the one thing in the world that I'm not going to take. This is yours. This is your thing.
She gives this frustrated huff of like, I let go, I detached, and like looks up at the sky kind of helplessly. Like, what do you want from me here? I don't understand.
The lamp turns to gold.
Wait,
I love the
Including like the glass in it.
And she looks down at it and like makes like a huh noise.
I like gasp.
I broke your lamp. Oh no.
Who
And
did that?
Calic is like considering the lamp, and it's like,
Calic, who did that? Did you do that?
Did I break your lamp?
Etienne, did you do that?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
and Calic just laughs. It's just like a merry, like a warm, like a ringing laugh, and like pulls Etienne and then like gives you like a half hug, and is like, "Bow, 1 minute, please, Etienne."
I like to start turning to the others to be like, who did that?
Just
Etienne,
watch the bite marks, yes?
didn't break it.
Okay, but it's different now.
The demos will, and I think what they are saying is that it should be yours, because I can't use it like this. This is a clear sign. This is for you and for the town.
Is it gonna get mad at my sword?
Ash, I wouldn't say I wouldn't think of Naderman or Horu as particularly opposed.
Not specifically.
And like, if anything, like the rotting and decaying stuff, like, is kind of in line with like sacrifice and asceticism.
Yeah. Ish.
Yeah, and so Calic. In fact, yeah, Calic smiles and is like, "It didn't when we were dealing with all those Titans. It's fine." And like pushes it in your arms, and like pats you on the shoulder, and then goes over to Bao and is like, "All right, Bao, you can walk with me as we go, and I will explain to you what did that."
Okay.
Coming, everyone.
I had a thing.
Oh, okay.
So you tore off your shirt and like threw it into the chasm, right?
Yep.
I didn't want to interrupt what everyone else was talking, but I think as you like toss it, I want to try and grab it before it is like fully in the chasm. Ash, do you think that requires a defy danger?
I don't think you grab it.
You don't think I grab it?
I don't think
Alright,
so.
that's fair. I think I grasp at it in the air then as it falls in, and I think the moment goes, and then we continue on.
That cool, Ash. Our destination is a cool thing nearby.
All right, that will take you 1 progress.
I thought it might somehow. Does anyone have adventuring gear from which they can produce materials with which to make a map?
We could have made a map on my shirt. Dang it.
I mean, that wasn't what I was gonna say, but yeah, I have adventuring gear, so
Yeah, do you want to be map maker?
sure, for this session I can do that.
I was gonna say, if you didn't, I'm sure I still have bite marks, and they're probably like blood, and we can make a map on my back as we travel. And just transcribe when we get back to town.
Alright, and so we're just rolling. Damn. Alright, yeah. Aaron, add that to your inventory. This is good. Cool. I'm just gonna roll plus nothing because we're not following any particular folklore rumor. We haven't been there before, we don't have a map. So let's just see what happens. We're gonna blunder through the wilderness.
Exciting times. Is anyone
Very
helping you?
exciting times.
Would anyone like to help me?
I will help. Sorry,
There we are. Excellent.
there's a lot of windows. So.
Yeah, I think the fact that you're like making a map, I think that makes sense. That is a helpful thing. Alright, I'm gonna re-roll that 2. I got a 9. That's slightly better.
Awesome. Do you want to find... So this is great. Do you want to find a cool thing, or but like have to fight a danger on the way, or make a discovery?
Those are basically the same thing.
Well, the interesting thing for me is it actually tells me how far away the thing that you discover is.
Discovery. Let's make a discovery.
I want a discovery that's a little farther away. I think that's a better option right now.
We have like no time. There's like no time.
Discovery.
Yeah, discovery.
Like you find a cool thing and then we can mark it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think you find a You find... I think at the end of the chasm, right? Like you follow up towards that to go around the chasm. And I think at the end, near where you would have climbed down, because it was the owl that reported the like way down, wasn't it? In which case the owl didn't pay attention to the fact that standing at the end of the chasm, I think there's one standing still, and then there's another fallen, 2 statues, each of an elf in armor with a spear. They have high cheekbones, they have stern eyes, and like they're like long hair up in a top knot, and I think one is like broken off at the like ankles and shins and is fallen, and I think it's not like fallen like down sideways completely. I think it's like fallen against a tree or something, so that it's like 45 degrees, but the other one still stands proud. And yeah, both of them stand on either side of the chasm as if like guardians of it. And this section of the chasm, I think you reach it at midday, so that this spot is lit from above and like is in enough of a clearing that there is sunlight coming down directly onto them. And the one that stands has, because the sun is overhead, has like this weird effect of like the shadow of his face being like lit by the sun from above almost makes it look as if he's like breathing or something, just in his face, right? Like just a little bit of movement. Whereas the one that has fallen at an angle against like a shrub or whatever casts this weird like black shape underneath it of like the shadow from the sun, creating like just stark contrast compared to the one that casts no shadow, right? Like, and they stand at the end of this, at the, like, you know, a mile away at the end of the the chasm. And yeah, you can see like the way down that you would take to get to the bottom of the chasm is there.
Let's put it on the map.
Yeah. Do we have echoing our travels on the other side of the chasm one very ornery, angry cassowary?
I want you to roll a Defy Danger with Charisma.
Oh no!
No, I mean, Bellum's probably very annoyed that that they have not been properly considered in this action.
No one consulted them.
Exactly. Nobody consulted Fellum, and so yeah, I agree with Ash's call. Give me 1 second because I'm on the wrong part of my character sheet.
Is there anyone that could help? Or do you feel that that is not narratively appropriate, Ray?
I think it could be appropriate, but I think that Phelim and Brianne have always sort of been you can leave when you want to. So like if Phelim has decided that they don't want to be near me anymore, Brianne would be sad but wouldn't chase after Phelim. Brianne would understand that Phelim needed to leave for whatever reason. So up to you if you want to help.
I'd absolutely be willing to. That's my instructor for bird school.
So fictionally, Ash, is this meant to be representative of me actively calling Phelim to follow?
It's representative of you, like, you know, doing whatever it is you're doing, and that's what I'd like to know, to convince Phelim to like follow you along from the other side to the end.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I think what I would have started with is like we would have started wandering around trying to search this place, and then I think after I realized how far we were going to wander, I would have been holding one of Phelim's snacks in my hand and trying to call them to come on. Like if we meet up again, I'll give you food. I mean, you don't have to. If you don't want the food, you don't have to come. Like you can do your own thing. But if you want this snack, you have to meet me.
Our kitty will offer you a little bit of help, like watching this play out, and be like, I could take some of that over there.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
So I think
birds get hungry.
Yeah, for sure. I give you one of the little dry, cured whole rats. And it's very important to remind everyone that cassowaries normally just eat fruit. There's something very wrong with this one.
It's like a
narrative decision.
It's like a hot, cold smoked rat to preserve it.
Great. I will bird poof. And
You get a 5 and a 2 there, and 2 people are helping, so you've got 2 rerolls up your sleeve.
I am going to re-roll the 5. No.
Up to you, friend.
What?
No, I'm going to re-roll the 2. So let's do that.
That's
I'm going to
actively
re-roll the
worse.
1.
the dice are rude today.
There we go.
Alright. So, I think... Yeah, no, I know what this is. In the... I think Phelim, like, takes the like, cured rat or whatever, and, like, puts it on the ground, scratches it at, like, with their feet in the dust, and then hands it back to you, Arcady. It's like, no, you can have this one because it's not good enough for me. If this is going to continue, I'm going to be given proper food. And so you're going to have to give them a ration, and Furthermore, if they're going to hang around, then when you make camp and everyone has to consume a ration, Phelim has to consume a ration.
Look, fair. I'm going to put that in my character sheet right now, and I will deduct a ration. And I'm very glad that I got 2 loads of dungeon rations at character generation because, yeah, this would suck a lot.
Well, in Arcade, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. This is kind of gross. Yeah, okay.
I thought it was what Phelim wanted.
Let me go. I'll be right back. Okay, great. Just a second. And I'll, like, take the rat back and, in essence, like, drop it on your head in the flight back and be like, bird friend drops the thing on your head and is like,
And I pull out a proper ration and hand it to you to take over there.
Great.
Yeah, in which case, like, yeah, Phelim, like, does the thing where they, like, grab it and toss it up in the air and then, like, just choke it down, like, in one whole thing.
Horrifyingly gross. I love it.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, Phelim follows you along, and yeah, and like, when you meet up, like, goes up to Brianne and, like, takes you a measure and gives you like a little, like, bow of respect.
The nobility of the castle.
I think that Brienne nods back, and then sort of moves close to Phelim and kind of puts Brienne puts their body between Phelim and everyone else, and using their concealed arm, because their body is obfuscating their view, pats Phelim. So it just looks to everyone else that I've just stepped up to have a stern word to the cassowary. Then
yeah, but then the cassowary starts making like a clucking, growling sound, like someone running like a stick along a fence.
Mm-hmm.
And Arcady hears this as like, yes, that is good. Scratch me more. Like, is that the sum of the?
That's what the sound is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we can mark the elf statues on the map that we're making. Is that right? And I actually am very keen to hear Calic's explanation of what just happened with the lantern.
Oh god!
If people are okay.
Oh yes.
With that,
definitely,
because that is because we were about to be done for time. But I'm very curious, because I, in character, know very little about how that kind of divine magic works.
And this is really weird, because I'm committed to the idea, and I feel like Ash, we've kind of committed to the idea that Calic is not like a this is not a mainstream Nadermu. This is like a very weird subset, or it is possible, now that I think about it, that Calic prays to Nadermu kind of as a proxy, and that the actual figure that they worship is like one of Nadermu's most senior spirit servitors.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that you are actually you're actually praying to a spirit or angel of Nadermu, and so therefore and Nadermu through them, right? Yeah, there's an aspect of Nadermu.
Yeah, and so God, what is this? What is this? And yeah, so we're walking along, and yeah, Calic is walking a little slowly and still nursing her ribs a little, and is how much do you know about the wardens? Wow.
They're big and magical and powerful, and horror makes everything grow really nice.
Mm.
Yeah. And also makes things die, and that's good too.
Mm. Nodomu is
I've heard people talk about Nodomu.
Nodomu is not unlike Horu. They teach us and help us to live well and to grow as people. Like Horu, he helps the plants grow. And they help the parts of us that are dark or selfish die. But it is not Nodomu themselves that I follow and that blessed me. And I think God, I think you are the first person to see this, except like maybe Arcady, because this feels like an intimacy. And I think they throw, like they take the shawl off, right? This like big swaddling grey cloak that they're never seen without, and like pull like their shirt like off down to like reveal one shoulder. And on their like shoulder and neck is a white, very, very stark white like scar mark, or like a birthmark. It's a little hard to tell. It is shaped something like a hand, but like too big. Right? Like this is like a hand on the scale of like Little Lonely Badger, or like the really big, like 12-foot, like there's a big hand. And it has like 2 thumbs, and there's just this like big handprint on her. And she's like, I'm thinking more like two thumbs, right? Like, and she's like, the spirit I follow teaches us not to cast things away because they do not matter, as Nodomu does, but that things matter because of the people who gave them to us, or the memories that they hold, or the good deeds we do with them, but also that people are more important than things.
That makes sense. That seems like a good advice.
And so she shrugs the Pinkercon. And so my angel teaches me that I should be kind to others, and I should ease their burdens, and I should kindle fires to warm them and light their way. And like we're back into like the walking shot now, right? Like, and so when I saw that Etienne was struggling and needed some help, even though that lantern was very important to me and was given to me by someone who I care for a great deal, my friend is more important than the lantern. And I guess, and she looks up, like, at the sky, but not really at the sun, like at the stars past it, and is like, and I guess my friend agreed. Yeah, and I think that's the end of that scene.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's do the end of session move. When you reach the end of a session, you return to town more or less safely. Regain any lost hit points or spells. Then, look at your alignment. If you fulfilled that alignment at least once this session, mark XP.
I would like to make a case that I did. If my alignment is hope, lead another to act despite fear or doubt. And I helped lead Etienne to go on the journey with us, even when she doubted that it was like the thing she wanted to do.
I like that.
I do not think that I did mine. Mine is show someone the wisdom you possess. And I think I showed someone my smarts, but not my wisdoms this time.
You get to say like how you define.
Yeah,
that.
but like, I don't.
Yeah, I think in this case it was not a. Yeah, it was not strictly wisdom.
That is.
I do not think I freed someone from literal or figurative bonds.
I'm going to advocate on your own behalf. You had your cassowary, like your cassowary was trapped within you having a very specific understanding of it and your relationship being a very certain way. And you set it free from that, right? And you guys now have a much more like equal and like less problematically hierarchical and like
that's true. Felon and I basically resolved a bond, right?
That is, I'm going to advocate that on your behalf. Do with it what you want.
Yeah, I think maybe that is a way of interpreting the freeing them from bonds thing, and I hadn't thought about it before. That redefining relationships could be figurative bonds, and I was thinking of it as things that keep you trapped, and I think I think that is an interesting interpretation, so I'm going to take it.
Yep, sounds good. Anyone else?
I super did not get mine. It was avoid detection or infiltrate a location, and I was absolutely seen and failed to infiltrate. And yes.
Sorry, Etienne. We didn't go knocking on doors.
The real treasure was friendship, though.
Does Etienne believe that, or is it the lantern?
The real treasure was friendship, which turned into a golden lantern.
So
that's the teaching of my god.
Well, okay, so the thing was, like, I wanted to get a bunch of money to bring back to town to hopefully help it out. So the thing is, you gave me this lantern, and, like, I think she wants to like, melt it down so they can use it.
Legit.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well...
And she's never going to mention what happened to it.
Yeah, and Arcadie's in a similar point, which it's helped something or someone grow, and other than being a pipsqueak, I don't...
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Well, answer these 3 questions as a group. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Yeah, big old dragon Komodo thing that Etienne, murdered spectacularly.
What can I say except you're welcome?
I need to put Komodo... What should I call this animal?
It's a Komodo dial.
I like
Komodo dial, alright.
Or an Alamodo. Either way.
That sounds like ice cream.
Nah, alligators are like weak crocodiles.
I'm not gonna get into this round the world argument with you right now.
And I have an important question. Whose inventory is the skin going
Very
into?
good question. Seeing as it's massive.
I would say that Brianne should own it because
I can carry it if someone else carries one of my bundles of arrows.
I could have carried that back with the lantern and been just at my limit, so... Also, I threw my shirt away, so I have no problem carrying that for you and just giving it to you when we walk back into town.
We should do a project with this at some point.
Can I ask someone to help me carry my Komodo dial skull?
I will carry your Komodo dial skull.
Thank you.
Because I feel like we're friends now.
Thank you. Ash, how much weight is the Komodo dial skull?
Ooh. Let me check.
I can carry up to another 4 load.
Yeah, I think it's probably 3. Like, it's heavier than a shield. It's between the weight of like a shield and scale mail, so I'm gonna say 3.
Given that Kylak is sad of ribs, Arcadie will like happily like play the like shuffle items game and like turn into like a wee tiny pack mule, not in a literal fashion, but in a help carry things around fashion.
Sounds good to me. All right. Blah. Did we loot a memorable treasure?
I got a gold lantern.
Yeah, there was a gold lantern.
The treasure of friendship.
The treasure of friendship, a gold lantern caused by like a god or something attached, god adjacent.
That wasn't looted.
We didn't loot it though. No, that's true. We did not.
I reckon between the skull and the skin.
I think that seems
That's true.
legit.
Yep.
Did we
We
discover
plundered that. Sorry, I was going to say we plundered that adventure for all of its friendship.
Did we discover something new and fantastic?
There are doors at the bottom of the chasm.
Also, sad elves.
Also, sad elves. Yes.
Also, the death of little 6-inch tall figures who are confused by death.
We learned a lot of vague but interesting things about the relationship of Nodcaps and the Fae to mortality absent magic. Like, a lot of interesting metaphysical implications came up.
Definitely. Did we overcome a threat to Beta or fill a need of its people?
Does delivering a solid gold lantern count as filling a need?
No.
That's the next one. Here's my one, Ash. Is being able to no, because we destroyed the bridge.
Yeah.
Is dealing with the Nodcap bandits filling a need of the people?
Were the people complaining about it?
No.
Not yet.
Were they under threat from it?
No.
If they wanted to cross the bridge.
I'm not counting it.
Does having created more reliable maps fulfill a need?
No.
No, because it's its own mechanic, I think.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Did you return bearing great riches?
Great riches.
Increase the town's
So much
fortunes.
friendship.
Increase the town's fortunes by 1 to a maximum of 3. So that goes up to -2. And did you return to town broken, battered, and in need of care?
Yeah,
We're in pretty good shape.
I have 2 debilities.
Oh, I fib. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Y'all had a hard time of it starting out, though.
Had like
I have like only one debility, and I feel like, that was while I was on 0. Like, I think the debility's cleared. I've just got like
right.
not a lot of hits.
I think next session we're still working on universal healthcare as like a project.
Yep, good.
I don't know then. I don't know if we are broken and battered, and maybe not.
I think we're in the middle. I think we're not quite that bad.
All right then. So no.
Raise your hand if you have... So let's assume that like a debility is like a quarter of your hit points. So like, who's less than half their hit points after that?
I have 3 debilities.
See, that's what I'm feeling, right?
Okay.
Like,
Cool. All right then. Yes.
although debilities aren't as bad as they used to
I
be.
did take. Sorry, I was going to say I did take all of mine before we left, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, in which case I'm not gonna pin you for it. All right.
Yeah. Also, mine is just I'm grumpy, so.
And my counterpart there, Ash, would be like, we've fictionally established that like knights of rest
Yeah.
can clear debilities. So like in town, like there's nothing but knights.
Well,
of rest.
Knights of Rest and the use of resources.
That's true.
So, but that's okay. I'm gonna not pin you for it this time. But like, keep that in mind for future sessions. All right. Well, that is our session for today. So let's.
I level up.
Hey, nice, excellent, good job. Let's do some shout-outs. I'll get everyone to do your shout-outs and also a piece of wisdom. Starting with Emily.
Feel so uncomfortable about the wisdom. Like, who am I to give people wisdom?
Okay, do you prefer a non-capitalist plug?
Kind of.
Okay, yeah.
I'll do it. I'll engage with this thing.
I'm just trying to work out like
I'm
a
just
less
letting you know.
wordy way
I'm
of
gonna do
saying
wisdom
that,
'cause I
right?
got
Like,
one.
Good. Yes, I'm perfectly happy for other people to have wisdoms. It is a thing that personally makes me feel uncomfortable.
yeah. Well, like a non-capitalist plug is the same thing. I'm just trying to work out a less wordy way of saying it.
I'm Emily. I am a filmmaker and an artist. You can follow me on Twitter at BlackwallSays. I am currently taking commissions, so if you are at all interested in getting character art or portraits of real or fictional people, or I also do emote art for Twitch streamers, and I do maps sometimes now, apparently. So I've been doing a bunch of that, so fantasy maps and things. Basically just visual art stuff. Hit me up, especially if it is game related, because I love that stuff. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/blackwall where you can support me if you would like. I have on there a bunch of dungeon maps that I design, sketches, and also behind the scenes film stuff. And I'm going to say, what is my non-capitalist plug today? Actually, here's the thing. I was reading a thing the other day that I really agreed with. This person on the internet was getting mad because they were annoyed by the fact that there is a kind of a capitalist and cultural idea around knowing how to cook for yourself that suggests that, like, cooking your own bread or cooking your own, like, meals from scratch is kind of like a fancy, luxurious thing to do. And I felt that I agreed with that person that was, like, kind of ridiculous. And I felt a little bit sad that we have, in many cases, lost a lot of those skills, as was demonstrated by Luke making bread this week several times and me being amazed that they could make bread. And it made me kind of sad that that's a thing that we don't all know how to do. So, like, let's remember that making food for ourselves is, like, a good and necessary skill and not, like, a fancy thing.
Awesome. Next up in our list is Aaron. You're muted, Aaron.
I always screw up some part of this. Hello, I've been Aaron. If you want to check me out when I'm not here, you can check out a podcast that I co-host / founded, whatever, that D&D podcast. We are on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, Patreon, Gmail. We also have our own website. It's all that D&D podcast, and then with at gmail or .com or whatever at the end. We've been doing a bunch of interviews with cool people in the indie tabletop, like RPG creation, playing, streaming space. I'm really proud of those. If you are someone who fits into that category and wants to come talk to us, send me a message on Twitter. You can do it at the Road Virus, except the E is a 3. Yeah, that's me. Making life difficult. I think that's all the things, probably, for now. Maybe there's more things in the future. We'll see about that. And I have a non-capitalist plug and 2 pieces of wisdom tonight. The non-capitalist plug is nature and animals are good. So if you have the ability, interact with those things. They will re-energize unless it's 200 degrees outside. And your bits of wisdom will be little cooking tips. So if you ever need to make a roux for gumbo or anything like that, you don't need to babysit flour in the pan for forever. You can actually put it on a baking sheet and bake it in the oven to skip a lot of the browning process. And tortillas are incredibly easy to make. It's 2 ingredients for the most part. It's water and masa, which I guess you probably need access to. It's basically just really finely ground cornmeal. So with those and a little bit of clapping your hands together, you can make tortillas, and they make dishes just taste better. So
If
there you go.
buy masa under that name, go to your local Indian grocery store. They also have a kind of corn flour.
There you go.
Awesome.
Parts.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Ray.
Hi, I'm Ray. If you want to see things from me personally, you can find me on Twitter as at uselray 1500. So USEL Ray 1500. If you want to see my podcast stuff, you can find that by searching for Insert Quest Here on most social media, and excluding Facebook and Twitter. Insert quest here is always spelt with square brackets at each end of the word. And we do actual plays and interviews and all that cool fun stuff. And my bit of wisdom for you today is that it is okay to let things go.
Excellent. Cool. Luke!
Hello, I'm watching the village council do something involving dirt outside. It's very exciting. Also, Emily, they seem to have installed a new one of the free book things. Has it? I've just never noticed it before. Anyway, I'm Luke. I am a game designer. You can buy games that I've written in the past at gamesfromthewildwood.itch.io. You can see games I am working on in the present tense at patreon.com/gamesfromthewildwood. If you would like to listen to the actual play podcast that I host, where we play queer, intimate, kind of fiction-first games, and we're currently playing Monster Hearts, you can find us on Twitter at feelingsfirst_. My piece of non-capitalist, my non-capitalist thing for the day is anger. Your anger is real. Your anger is okay. Your anger is part of you. In our culture, we do a lot of divorcing our anger and pretending it doesn't exist or it's other people's fault, or like bad emotions that it is somehow not ours. The only way to beat your demons is to eat them and accept that they're yours. Own your anger.
Excellent. Andy.
Hey, y'all. My name's Andy. If you want to hang out with me on the good old internet, you can find me at Fictional Mammal on Twitter. If I had a little bit of wisdom or some non-capitalist plug to make, one of the things I've been thinking about a lot as of late for myself is getting comfortable with the idea of having strengths and really owning them, in contrast to always beating myself up over all the things that I'm not good at or not good at yet or haven't practiced or are not, like, as air quotes, like naturally inclined towards. So I suppose I'd love to invite everybody to join me in the part where we both, like, we take time to get good with the things that we're not practiced at. Like, that's a thing we often spend time looking at. And I also would love for everyone to perhaps think about taking the time to get good and, like, really owning the things that you're really good at and that you're impassioned by and that, like, really light you up. I've been spending some time trying to figure out what those things are for myself. So maybe that'd be useful for you too.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I've been Ash. I've been your GM and host. You can find me at Acegiak, ACEGIAK, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, and Patreon if you want to support my ongoing game design work. We will be back here tomorrow to play some In Which We Live and Breathe, version 0.2 or version 2, I'm not sure. Version 2. Which I'm very excited about. And I want to heartily recommend to you all that you check out sleep. And getting enough of it and going to bed early. Because, ow. Yeah. All right. I will catch all you lovely folks later. And we'll see you around.